afternoon, everyone. I'm Tim Ryan with Matt Millen here at the Superdome, a very elaborate pre-game ceremony involving the national anthem, of course, and we welcome you to the Louisiana Superdome for the 6-2 New Orleans Saints and the 4-4 Green Bay Packers. And the Packers come in here, Matt, with Sterling Sharp, the league's leading receiver, playing on an injured toe, a turf toe injury. Could bother him. We'll watch it closely. But I guess Mike Holmgren, their coach, a little more concerned about his young quarterback, Brett Favre, after Monday night's lackluster performance.
Well, yeah, big concern, mostly because Brett Favre started to press. And when Brett Favre tried to win the game all by himself, he really got himself into problems. Now, one of the things that the Packers are going to be able to rely on today is some experimentation on their defense. With the emergence of Bryce Pop, Tony Bennett having 2 weeks under his belt, we can expect to watch Reggie White back inside and try to use some of that big strength inside on a push.
That'll be fun to see, although I know Reggie doesn't really like to work inside, but he can do it for sure. Now, as far as the Saints are concerned, they've made it through to a 6-2 mark over the first half of the season, despite not having the really the linchpins of their outstanding defensive team, and they've got 3 of those guys back today.
Yeah, and it's really important. They're going to be getting back Les Warren, Jim Wilkes, Les Miller, Frank Warren, and Jim Wilkes. And the biggest key there is the Saints have always won with defense, and they've got to have a good, strong defense in front. Now, next week, they'll be even better because they're going to be getting back Sam Mills.
Conducted by referee Dick Mantek. Joining the Saints captain is Iberia's junior captain.
So as you can tell, we're just a little bit behind here in terms of the kickoff activity. The towing toss is taking place. There's the coach of the Green Bay Packers, Mike Holmgren, and it was a very disappointing defeat Monday night for the Packers, and certainly for Mike Holmgren, a team that had won 3 in a row. They had so many chances to win at Kansas City and came up short with various miscues, 6 turnovers, killing the Pack. And that was a devastating situation for Holmgren, who admitted as much to us yesterday. That was one of the toughest losses in his pro career, including all of those great years as an assistant at San Francisco. For Jim Mora, after a bye week, he's feeling pretty good about the Saints' prospects, getting back Wilkes and Warren and Miller today. Sam Mills will be back next week. They hope following the infection in his knee, and suddenly that Saints defense, Matt, starts to look like it will be the powerhouse it has been. And with the Wade Wilson offense, there's Sam Mills on the sidelines today, expected to have a helmet on next week.
Yeah, and that's the key right there, Sam Mills. Once they get him back, they get their quarterback and their defense back. And more importantly, you know, he runs everything, but he's a tough guy. I mean, he steps right up in there, and that's what they've been missing at that linebacker spot.
Saints then will only be without Brett Maxey, gone for the season, of course, from their regulars. He's on injured reserve. Saints will receive, having won the toss.
I think it's the first time they won the toss all year, Tim.
Wade Wilson, the quarterback, got them off to a 5-0 start, coming over from Atlanta after a number of years in Minnesota with the Vikings. Bobby Hebert going to Atlanta, and Wilson struggling against Pittsburgh, as the entire Saints team did in that route up in Pittsburgh. And then the loss to Atlanta, but rebounding with a victory over Phoenix 2 weeks ago. The Packers had won 3 in a row and got all of their fans excited up in Green Bay, now find themselves at 4-4, trying to catch up to the leading Detroit Lions, who are idle today. The Lions at 7-2, and with their bye week, that'll balance out the number of games played when they meet next week, the Lions and the Packers. McAfee and Hughes are the deep men for the Saints, and Chris Jackie's kickoff taken by McAfee at the 4. Flags are down as McAfee lost the ball. Packers say they have it, but we'll see what the call is, and there is a penalty that was upfield. The hit made by Marcus Wilson.
Holding on the return, number 55, 10-yard penalty, first down.
Reggie Freeman charged with the holding. Saints have the ball, and they'll have to start a little deeper as they march it off now to the 12-yard line. Wade Wilson will lead them out at quarterback, and he'll have this offensive front. Richard Cooper, Chris Port, Joel Hilgenberg, who returned to action after missing the first part of the season, Kennard, and the outstanding rookie William Rofe at right tackle. Brown, the running back, another rookie with Brad Muster. Eric Martin and early other wide receivers. Irv Smith, yet another rookie to tight end. So 3 starters in this Saints team. rookies and off to very good starts in their NFL careers. Out of the backfield, Derek Brown is dropped at the 13-yard line. Gain of maybe a yard, maybe 2 at the most. Mitchell and Simmons making the stop for Green Bay. There is Wayne Simmons, and he's the outstanding rookie for the Packers from Clemson, the #1 pick. Matt Brock, John Yurkovich, and Reggie White, the down linemen in their base 3-4. Simmons joined by Bryce Pop, Johnny Holland, and George Kuntz are the inside backers. And the secondary has Mitchell and Buckley on the corners. Butler and Teague are the safeties. George Teague, yet another outstanding rookie. Derek Brown. Forced out at about the 17-yard line by Leroy Butler.
Yeah, there's a guy right there, Leroy Butler, Tim, and I think he probably epitomizes this Green Bay Packer defense. You know, he's really come on. He's more comfortable with the system. He's more comfortable with his skills in this system, and he's really having a really big year. The thing that I like about him is he has that good corner speed. They moved him into safety, and you can use him all over the field. It's
become unanimous, talking to coaches around the league, that Butler is an outstanding safety now in the NFL. 3rd down and 4. And 4 wide receivers are in for Wilson. Inside handoff. Dalton Hilliard, 1st down, Saints to the 25.
Very nicely done, offensive coordinator Carl Smith. But here's what he's going to do. Look, he's going to take the wide receivers and he's going to spread everybody out. That opens up the whole middle. They have 1 remaining back and they bring him right up inside. This is very well conceived. Watch Bennett push him right up the hole. Now let him come through the middle. And there's that guy again right in the middle there, Leroy Butler.
Butler along with Johnny Holland. Hilliard has a 1st down. Saints at their 25-yard line. Opening series. Wilson takes off running, and he's close to another 1st down.
Tim, they got some pressure up inside, and they had good coverage. And so Wade Wilson decided to take off. But watch this. They moved Reggie White, we talked about at the top, moving him back inside with Bryce Pop to the top. Now just blow up the middle. Look at Pop. They run the stunt. Pop comes back inside. Nobody on the outside. Wade Wilson takes advantage of it.
It'll be 2nd and a yard at the 34-yard line of New Orleans. Derek Brown. 1st down, Saints near the 40.
That's him right there. That's Derek Brown. He is the key to their running game right now. Now, through their first 5 games when they won 5-0, their running game was on fire. And this guy, Derek Brown, he really was coming. You can see him right here, the rookie running back. You can see right here, 463 yards. They're very excited about Derek Brown. Today, he has got to have a big game to take the pressure off the passing game of Wade Wilson.
Number 4 in the National Conference among the running backs for the rookie from Nebraska. 1st down. Fullback Munster. About 5. Straight ahead. Stopped by Kuntz. Number 53, George Kuntz, the linebacker.
Yeah, nice trap inside. Now, this view you're going to see, this is what you really study when you're a linebacker or lineman. This is the end zone view. Now, watch the trap right inside. You're going to take Munster, bring him right back inside. Now, what you've got to be able to do in this, see the trap coming? Boom, cut right inside. Everything has to be tight in here. Once you're past the lineman, then you get what you can get. And that time, Munster just kept his shoulders squared and got pickup of about 6.
Saints have rushed 5 times already for 32 yards. And they connect to Martin for another 1st down. Eric Martin to the 34-yard line. Buckley and Simmons made the stop. Eric Martin.
But Tim, right now, Carl Smith, the offensive coordinator of the New Orleans Saints, is on a roll. I mean, he has gone into that offensive package. He's gone 4 wides. He's spread them out. He's gone no backs. He's run fades. He's come back with traps inside. Everything that they've wanted to do so far to the Packer defense, they have been able to do.
Well, and that's the guy that has the perception around the league among a lot of fans as being kind of a dull and ordinary offensive coordinator.
Conservative. I mean, second play of the game, they have no backs in the backfield.
They have a 1st down at the 44-yard line, and they have taken an official timeout. Evidently a problem with the clock, or perhaps their watches on the field.
Yeah, this little timeout right now is good for the Green Bay Packer defense. The Saints kind of have them on their heels. Now they got to get back in there, regroup, talk to everybody, go back to basics.
Dick Cantack, the referee today. And they are resetting the clock. 10:37 remains in the first quarter. That's what's on the board at the moment here. This is the opening offensive series for the New Orleans Saints.
Oh, here we go.
Mike Holmgren watching this first series with some trepidation, no doubt reacting as Matt just did to the outstanding variety Carl Smith has thrown at the Pack in his first series. This is Mustard. Mustard dives ahead for about a gain of 3 to the 40-yard line.
Tim, you know what I like about Carl Smith? I like his philosophy, and that's this. If I'm having success, I'm going to keep on going back to it. They ran the trap early with Mustard. He went right up the middle for 6 yards. Now, you didn't stop it, come right back and run a trap again. He picks up 3 yards.
Kuntz and Reggie White on that last stop, and you can see the Saints, who are number 4 in rushing offense, off to a good start in this game. Mustard again, not much. This time stacked up right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play.
Yeah, what you could see right there is the chess game. This is the part that I always love. Yeah. Carl Smith going with the run game and running the traps and everything. Now, defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes, right there, he went with the run blitz. Now, he decided to roll the dice and see, you know, if you're going to start running the ball on me, I'm going to start filling all the lanes with backers filling everything up front.
Packers send in Doug Evans and Mike Pryor, 6 defensive backs now on 3rd down and long. 10th play of this Saints drive. Now they need the 3rd and long to keep it going.
Well, this is the key for the Packer defense, Tim. When I spoke with Ray Rhodes, what he told me was he thought and felt that his defensive backs could cover man for man the receivers of the New Orleans Saints. 3rd down is where it's going to show up.
Still a problem with the play clock is the 25-second clocks that are down in the end zone areas behind the goalposts, and that's why we have a delay. There's Ray Rhodes.
Yeah, there's defensive coordinator Ray Rhodes right here. And there's Sherman Lewis, the offensive coordinator, right there.
So they're now running the play clock down, as they still try to sort out the electrical problem here at the Superdome. Saints with a 3rd down and a long 6 for a first. Sellout crowd at the Superdome to watch the 6-2 Saints against the 4-4 Green Bay Packers.
Well, Tim, I think what's happening is the 30-second clock is not working properly, so the officials right now are going to either head coach and letting them know that it's not working, and he's going to have to go off the official on the field.
Well, of course, that's a problem for the quarterbacks, especially now that they're down to this 25 seconds between plays. Most teams have had some troubles getting plays off, and when they can't see it on the board and have to rely on the officials on the field, this could be a problem for both teams.
Well, you have to have, if you're a quarterback, you have to have good ears. You can see Brett Favre rolling his eyes there, because what will happen is the referee will be behind you, and he will be yelling at you, telling you how much time you have.
And we've got White and Brock as the down linemen, with Pop and Bennett as the pass rushers for Green Bay on 3rd down. Wilson flushed, got the pass off, incomplete. Intended for Quinn Early, and Early complaining that he was interfered with. Roland Mitchell had the coverage.
Good coverage by Roland Mitchell. And that's nice to see, and that's one we're going to have to keep our eyes on, Tim, because the New Orleans Saints staff felt like they could take advantage of Roland Mitchell. They felt like he didn't break well, and you're going to see clearly right here, that's as good a break as you're going to get.
And that initial pressure came from Reggie White on the inside. So the Pack stops the Saints. Barnhart will punt. Brooks and Pryor are the deep men. Bearcat signal. The ball hits at the 8. And it will be downed at about the 7-yard line. Damon Winston downing it there. We'll be back. left, we'll have Ken Rutgers, Doug Wydell for the injured Rich Moran, Winters, Galbraith, and Tootie Roberts across the front. And Darrell Thompson coming into his own out of the I formation. Edgar Bennett, the fullback. Sharp and Clayton, the wide receivers. Jackie Harris, the tight end. All three of those receivers are playing hurt. Harris with an ankle injury, Clayton with a calf, and Sharp with a turf toe. He did not practice all week. Good punt by Barnhart as the Pack starting from their 8. Brett Favre was 20 of 34 against Kansas City, but despite throwing a touchdown pass, 3 interceptions, 2 fumbles. And you can see they've got 40 seconds up on the clock when it should be 25, so there's a further delay as they count it down to 25. I wonder how much this is playing on the mind of young Brett Favre, who's got his friends and family here. He's back here for the first time as a starter, as a pro.
On the field for the play clock. The play clock will be set at 0. Time for the play will be kept on the field by the officials.
Dick Hantak, the referee, telling the crowd what's going on, and the maintenance people at the Superdome are going to try and get this thing fixed. But meanwhile, Brett Favre having to stand around down there. And, you know, in some ways, it might even be good for this young quarterback to not come out here like a racehorse and try to break from the gate.
I have a feeling that Brett Favre is one of those guys that doesn't get rattled too easily. He's one of those guys that kind of takes it in stride, knows what he has to do, knows what he can do. His problem comes when he wants to do everything.
Well, he acknowledges as much. Talking to him before the game today, just reflecting back on Monday night, he said, you know, here I got a guy hanging all over me and I'm throwing the ball. He said, I got to get over that. I don't have to make all the plays myself. First down. Play action. And he's on the money to Harris, who drops the ball. Jackie Harris. It was there. Defensively for the Saints, one of the best in the National Football League. Les Miller returning to the lineup. He'll be on the nose. Goff moves over to right end, and Wayne Martin in his usual spot. Turnbull having an outstanding year with Johnson, James Williams for the injured Sam Mills, and Ricky Jackson, the 35-year-old veteran. Cook and Buck on the corners. Gene Atkins and Keith Taylor are the safety. Joel Smingy has now come in on this second down play at linebacker, and Miller is out. 2nd and 10. Darrell Thompson forced wide by Cook and Taylor. Not much, maybe a yard.
Well, Tim, the New Orleans staff felt that if they could get Darrell Thompson running sideways, they win the battle. Darrell Thompson is best at when his shoulders are square and he's coming straight up the field. He's a big, strong, physical guy, and he's very impressive coming through the hole. Kind of almost reminds you of Eric Dickerson when he squared, but when he's going sideways, he's not nearly as effective.
Reginald Jones into the secondary. Frank Warren in at defensive end. 3rd and 9. Far quickly to Brooks, and Brooks hangs on. He'll be short of the first down at the 15-yard line. Vaughn Johnson and Toy Cook made the tackle on him.
Good series by the Saints. Yeah, good series by the Saints, Tim. You know, this is how you start gaining field position. You wanted to keep them down, pin them inside, and they did just that.
Wagner will stand at the goal line to receive the snap. Tyrone Hughes waiting for it at the Saints 46. Huge punt from Wagner, and dandy. All the way back to the 27-yard line. And Hughes gets it back to the 38, a 57-yard punt. Jim Morrissey, newly acquired, made the tackle.
To appreciate the higher standard. Sponsored by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealer, creating a higher standard. McDonald's, what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever. And by Canon, a world leader in office equipment.
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen at the Superdome. Scoreless here, 7:43 to go first quarter. Second possession for the Saints. And starting at their 37-yard line. Wade Wilson 2 of 3 passing in the first. drive. They ran the ball very effectively until they were finally stopped by the Pack. Luster in motion. Short drop, and it's complete to Eric Martin. First down, New Orleans to midfield. George Kuntz on the tackle.
I like that. They go motion away, play action down inside, and Martin just hitting right down. What Wayne Martin does very well, Tim, is he understands zone coverage real well. I mean, he'll see everybody dropping, and he'll just go where no one is. And that's it sounds so simple and so hard to do.
Well, Martin, like his counterpart for the Packers, Sterling Sharp, also difficult to bring down. A very strong wide receiver. First down. Eric Brown. First down, Saints to the 32-yard line. George Kuntz on the tackle again. And the rookie from Nebraska with a 17-yard run.
Yeah, well, watch right here, number 95, Bryce Poppin. Watch the block on Muster as he goes into him. The whole key is Muster. Watch him. Turn him. Get your rear end to the outside. See that? Now that clears the whole outside. Cooper right there had the clamps on Holland, and that allowed Brown right down the sideline.
Saints in Packer territory at the 33-yard line. Wilson short drop again, deflection, interception, Butler. Leroy Butler's 4th interception of the season off the hands of the receiver Martin, and returned to the Green Bay 35-yard line. We'll be back at the Superdome in a moment.
Zone pattern. Watch Wayne Martin right here. He's going to see the backers drop this way. Simmons got to get right here. Simmons got to get a jam on Eric Martin. Now watch. See, open up in the zone, balls right through his hands. Should have been caught. Good thing of defensive backfield play is when the ball's in the air. See the jam right there? See, that ball should be caught. Good thing is, if the ball's in the air, make the play.
Not too often you'll see Martin miss one like that, but the Pack has it first down at their 35-yard line. Play action, and that's complete to Jackie Harris, the tight end. Green Bay first down to the 47-yard line.
Well, Tim, Terry Bradshaw told us on the NFL Today that the key to Brett Favre early was going to be to watch his feet. He said if he gets back there and sets up early, that he would have his confidence. Clearly, the last 3 passes, Favre has set his feet, and he has been all right on target.
They had a drop from Harris in the first offensive series. Harris holding on to that one. First down at the 47 of Green Bay. Good defensive play. Wayne Martin, the defensive end, number 93.
Well, that was just a case right there of Wayne Martin using his quickness on Tootie Robbins and coming back inside. Now, Tootie will try to hook him to the outside. Watch him get to the outside. Now watch, Martin has his hook. So he dips back underneath and uses his quickness to make the play. The key for a defensive player always, if you're going to take a chance, make sure you make the play.
Les Miller comes out. Joel Smengi goes into the defense for the Saints. Second down, 11. Draw play. Edgar Bennett. Not much. It'll leave third down and about 8. Goff and Martin, the 2 defensive ends, making the hit. Robert Goff, who missed practice Friday because of the flu.
Don't call him Robert. That's Pig. And as long as I ever watch him, he is going to be Pig Goff.
Pig, not Piggy,
this
right?
This is no good, see. This should say Pig. It's Pig Goff.
And it's only because that's what he likes that we dare to say that.
That's exactly right.
Third down and 8. Release man Sharp. First down, Green Bay to the 40-yard line of New Orleans. Johnson hit him. Taylor finished it off.
Well, it took him 11.
Spencer.
Sorry, Timmy. It took him 11 minutes to get the ball to Sterling Sharp. I was wondering when this was going to happen. You know, if you're the Green Bay Packers, you know you have one legitimate superstar in your team. His name is Sterling Sharp. The faster you can get the ball into his hands, the better off your offense is going to be. As a matter of fact, he is best in the first half.
First down, Green Bay. 41-yard line of New Orleans. And flags and whistles. May have been delay of game. They are using the clock again.
False start.
No, it's a
Offense,
false start.
number 74. Prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Charged with a false start, the left guard.
Here you go. Look at Sterling Sharp. Now, this is the impressive thing, see. And what's most impressive about that is the fact that Green Bay's offense always starts fast. And it's due in large part right here to Sterling Sharp.
1st and 15, the Packers at the 46-yard line of New Orleans. High formation. Thompson. Turnbull. Loss of close to 5.
Well, Thompson made a mistake there, Tim. He outran his blocking. Now, they made the pull. Harry Galbraith, you're going to watch number 76. Right here, he's going to pull. And what happens is Thompson gets ahead of Galbraith and just makes the tackle for him. Look at it, right there. See, it's head of Galbraith. Galbraith can't get to Turnbull. Turnbull makes the tackle.
Frank Warren comes in with Reginald Jones now for the Saints.
There it is,
Ronaldo Turnbull.
Sure.
Just having a great season in the sack department, tied with Anthony Smith of the Raiders for the lead. And a timeout called by Green Bay. We'll be back at the Superdome. 2:38 to go in the first. 2:38 to go in the first quarter, still scoreless. And the Packers at midfield, second and very long. And some very interesting matchups this afternoon, Matt.
Well, the biggest one that I'm looking forward to involves him right here. That's Ricky Jackson. Now, he knows it's his passing situation, and he's going against Tootie Robbins. These two have played each other a long time, and they're very familiar with each other. Should be fun.
Each of them 35 years old, the two oldest players on the field. On second down, Favre has time. Complete to Thompson out of the backfield. Got about 6 at the most.
Yeah. Round one, what Ricky Jackson decides to do, he decides to go with the power rush on Tootie. Now, what he's doing here is just setting him up. Watch 57 right here on Tootie Robbins 73. He's going to go with power. He'll start him upfield, bury your shoulder, now drive him. All you do there is you're setting something up later on. Round one goes to Tootie Robbins.
Third down and 13. Green Bay to the 27-yard line. Favre taking off with good coverage downfield.
Well, we saw round one go to Tootie. Let's watch it again. Ricky Jackson now is going to go to the top shoulder. You go to the power, now work the shoulder. See, gets up top, tries to bring his arm under. Tootie Robbins keeps his hands on him, pushes him on by the quarterback. That enables Favre to step up, get outside. So round two goes to Tootie Robbins.
Tootie Robbins, 325 pounds. And Ricky Jackson at 235. First down, Packers. Thompson. Strong cut upfield by Thompson. And just short of a first down, tripped up by Goff.
Now, and everything's working now, right now. We're talking about Tootie, the big offensive lineman. And what he does well, look, first of all, he knows all the tricks. You're never going to beat him with anything new. He's seen it all. He's done it. And he uses his entire body almost like a sponge. He'll let you come into him and use his all weight. But most impressive, he's got the most expansive rectum in the entire NFL. I mean, that is a beauty. Look at that thing.
Second down and a long 2. Marcus Wilson smacked upside the head and then some. Keith Taylor.
Well, he knows it too. He's shaking his head trying to get the cobwebs out. Now, every now and then in a game, Tim, you'll have the opportunity to make a tackle like that. The most important thing in tackling always is to make sure you get the guy down. Now, you'd like to be able to make a hit like that every play, but it doesn't happen. When you get the opportunity, you make it happen like Taylor did.
Third down. A long 2. Favre almost picked up. Vince Buck got a hand on it. Nearly got 2 on it with a ball in him.
And Tim, right there is what Mike Holmgren was afraid Brett Favre might do, and that's press. Now watch the pressure coming. He's going to stay in the pocket, stay. Now they talked about it. He knows where he wants to go, and then at the last second, he just lets it fly.
Williams had that last second pressure on him. Chris Jackie in for the field goal try. 15 of 16 this year. 38 the distance. And that is good. Green Bay has the lead. First points of the game by Chris Jackie, a 38-yard field goal with 11 seconds remaining in the first quarter. 11 plays in that drive for Green Bay. And we saw a similar drive to New Orleans' opening series, a mix of run and pass very effectively, but Green Bay coming up with the first points. And we've got lots of football ahead today on CBS, our doubleheader action. Jason Garrett will be starting for the injured Troy Aikman at Dallas against Phoenix. Minnesota's at Denver, and the Falcons at the Rams today. All ahead here on CBS. Hope you'll stay with us for more NFL action.
Well, with Bernie Kosar now going to Dallas, it almost makes me want to root for the Dallas Cowboys, something I've never done.
Well, they've said that he will appear in that game, even
right.
though they've named Garrett the starter. Jimmy Johnson has said he plans to get Kosar in. He's had only a few days of practice for the Cowboys. And, of course, that's a huge story, the Kosar story, and you've already indicated that you're as sympathetic as Terry Bradshaw is as to the cutting of Kosar in Cleveland.
Yeah, well, I spoke with him Monday night right after he was released, and you know, he was so low. I felt so bad for the guy, and then, you know, just as the biggest swing he could get, you know, 2 days later he signed with the Dallas Cowboys.
Kickoff taken by McAfee at the goal line. Good return. A flag is down. He got out to the 24-yard line. Tim Houck made the tackle there for Green Bay. And it's a holding signal against New Orleans on the return.
On the return, number 97, 10-yard penalty. It will be first down. This is the conclusion of the first quarter.
Ronaldo Turnbull on the tackle. On the penalty, pardon me, and that's the end of the first quarter with the score. Green Bay 3, New Orleans nothing.
That led to the field goal that give Green Bay the lead. A very good defensive play right here by James Williams. Now he is in man-to-man coverage on Edgar Bennett right over here. Now once Bennett blocks, Williams just keeps on coming, forces Favre to make the bad throw, and that sets up the field goal. So very, very high mark right there by James Williams.
Brett Favre talking to the offensive brass upstairs here about the next series. Right now it's New Orleans ball, and they will start at their 10-yard line following that penalty. So Wade Wilson and company down 3-0 beginning the second period. Wilson 3 of 5 passing in the first quarter. Derek Brown with a big hole.
Oh, he stepped out.
Out of bounds at the 30-yard line. Derek Brown, 60 yards on the play, getting away from both Teague and Butler. And Terrell Buckley, the last man to beat, but he stepped out at the 30.
Well, everything starts right in the middle of the offensive line. Hilgenberg, Port, Kennard. Watch them right in the middle. They just take their men, they cut, look at it, stay on the blocker. Good job right there by Port. Now it's all Brown. Keep the feet moving, run where no one is. They're going to see him step out right at the side down here around the 30-yard line. Right there. Yeah, he knew it. He slowed down. Big, big job by the offensive line, Tim.
Fred McAfee comes in to give Brown a breather. First down at the 30. Muster running hard, drags a tackler for 9. Tony Bennett.
I'm sorry, Tim, but another good job by Hilgenberg. Now, he's just taking Jurkovic, and he's just, wherever he goes, that's he's staying on. Keeps his hands on him. You see Joe right there. Just take his hands, whichever way Jurkovic goes, he'll just get his hand and rush him, push him right out of there.
Second down, a long 2 for the Saints. 22-yard line. Husker dropped by Jurkovic.
Yeah, that's what I like about John Jurkovic. Yeah, you're going to beat him sometime, but this is an ultra-competitive guy. Watch number 64 right here. Now, he's going to take the quick move. Look at this. Go with the arm over right there. Beautiful work by Jurkovic. Yeah, tough guy. That guy, you know, he's got a lot of pride, and that's why he's out there playing down after down.
Jurkovic on being a nose tackle. He says, you just hunker down and fight like hell for 3 or 4 seconds.
That's him. He's a hunkerer, all right.
Third down and about 6. Wilson throwing, touchdown. Quinn Early.
Watch the pressure up the field. Wilson, Reggie White blowing in the middle. Bennett coming. There's lots of pressure. He stays right on target, though. Ball is right on. Quinn Early just runs under it. You can see he splits right there. See that? Good job by Early, but a poor job by Terrell Buckley.
24 yards the pass play. Wade Wilson to Quinn Early. Morton Anderson's point after. And the Saints take the lead from Green Bay. 13-10 to go in the half. The first half, New Orleans with a 7-3 lead over Green Bay on the strength of the touchdown pass from Wilson to Quinn Early. His 4th consecutive game with a touchdown reception, tying a Saints record. 27 catches coming into the game. And Wade Wilson with Carl Smith planning the next offensive series for the Saints. They went 90 yards on that 60-yard run by Derek Brown, setting up the touchdown toss from Wilson to Early, taking 2 minutes and 1 second off the clock.
Well, Carl Smith couldn't draw this up better. Timothy wanted to. Everything he's wanted to do to this point in the game has worked.
Morton Anderson will kick it off. Marcus Wilson and Robert Brooks are the deep men. A line shot goes into the end zone, and Brooks will not bring it up. Green Bay will start from their 20-yard line.
But Tim, sometimes you wonder, how can Quinn Early get open like that? Well, here's exactly how. Watch Buckley right here at 27 on Early. Now, he knows he has safety help inside, so he'll take the outside. Here's the mistake. He turns off the man and looks back to the quarterback, which allows the separation, does not give the safety enough time to come over, and that's 6 points. Man-to-man coverage, Tim, you can never take your eyes off the man.
So Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers start from their 20-yard line, trailing 7-3. Good protection for Favre, good coverage by the Saints. Darrell Thompson, the release man. Fine effort by Thompson, close to a first down.
Boy, he's strong. What a strong guy Thompson is. I mean, he had a clear shot on him. He just bounced right off, kept his shoulder square, and kept on moving up the field. He's 217 pounds, but he looks like he plays a lot bigger than that. Sometimes you get guys who do just that.
Well, Thompson drafted number 2 in 1990 when Lindy Infante was the coach. The offense was not suited to Thompson's talents. He quietly persisted, and finally this year, using the I formation, Holmgren has taken the best of it. Bennett for a first down. Edgar Bennett on 2nd and 1. And a first down to the 32. Just to follow on Darrell Thompson, you have to admire his attitude. He was quietly watching them bring in Eric Dickerson and John Stevens and continually looking to improve their running game. And he's never really had a chance to show what he can do. And Holmgren, to his credit, changing the offense to the eye where Thompson is thriving.
Well, I spoke with Gil Haskell prior to the game about Thompson, and he said what they have really learned about is he just needs a chance. The more he gets a chance, the better he's been doing, so he'll get his chances.
Ed West in at tight end for Green Bay. Play action on first down, and Favre just threw it away, avoiding the sack yardage. He was downed at the 25-yard line by Turnbull.
Smart play. That's a smart play by Brett Favre. And that's that new rule. Once you're outside the pocket, you can just let it go, and there's no intentional grounding. Watch the pressure on Kenny Ruckers. He beats him to the top side. Bennett should have been there to the top side, but Turnbull gets it, and very nice play by Brett Favre.
Yeah, and you can see there's nobody there in that vicinity, and some of the crowd here, of course, booing, perhaps not knowing the new rule. That's a legal play. Once he's outside of those tackles, trying to avoid a loss. This time they get him. James Williams.
Well, Tim, Steve Sidwell, he's rolling the dice too. Now he's bringing watch off the top corner. See that? You line him up on the receiver, fake, take one stutter step like you're going to be in coverage, and then come. Nice play by James Williams.
Williams in there for the injured Sam Mills these past several weeks, and has done very well. Totally different style than Mills, and has good speed, as you saw there. 3rd and 16. Darrell Thompson did a good job to hold on to that ball.
Look at that.
There's no gain.
And there's also 11 black jerseys on top of him.
So the Packers will punt. Wagner had a 57-yarder in his last effort. Gets another good one, driving Hughes back to the 20. He's dropped at the 27-yard line. A 50-yard punt this time by Wagner, and will return to the Superdome in a moment.
Well, Tim Houck, number 24, this is his version of the Iliad and the Odyssey. In this case, it's the Odyssey. And sometimes you can beat it with speed up. Sometimes you can't. You have to go back inside the paint. But always it comes down to getting in on the play, which he did very well.
Iliad and the Odyssey.
I read that.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Homer.
That's good. That's very good, man.
That is not Homer, that's Houck.
First down from the 30-yard line. We had to offer whatever we can here in terms of poetry. And
oh, boy!
A sack on Wilson by Reggie White.
Well, hey, Tim, I'm going to tell you, this is pure power. This is what Reggie White was always the best in the league at. Number 90, watch this, right? He is just going to bring pure power. Watch on Kennard, look, boom, run him right over. That's 300 pounds he threw out of the way. And then Willie Rofe tries to get on it, but too late. When Reggie White cranks up the bull rush, there's no one better.
Reggie White, 8.5 sacks this season. Wayne Simmons is out of the lineup with a hamstring injury for Green Bay. And the Packers are all over that running play for another loss. Matt Brock on the tackle.
Yeah, and this is good defense. This is what I was expecting Green Bay Packers to do. What they're doing, they took Reggie White, they moved him inside with Brock, and this is where he's best. Just blow him up the field and mess everything up. Create all kinds of havoc inside, Tim. Then there's nowhere to go with the football.
With Simmons out, they've got Bryce Popp on the left linebacker spot and Tony Bennett on the right side. And we'll get you an update on Simmons when we can. That's complete to Marcus Dowdell. Loose ball. Packers have it. And it is George Teague, the Alabama rookie, coming up with a loose ball. Marcus Dowdell's first catch, and he fumbled it as soon as he was hit.
Well, watch Dowdell. He's a victim of his own wanting to get better. See that? He just wants to keep on going and make some extra yards. and in that exuberance, he loses the football.
Dowdell tried to change hands there just as he was hit, moving the ball from one hand to the other, and Teague comes up with it. Green Bay has a first down at the Saints' 22-yard line. Thompson turns it upfield for 5, maybe 6. Vince Buck on the tackle, number 26.
Yeah, that's the old Bob Otto. You know, that Bob is a strong side back in the backer. They bring both guards out there, Galbraith, and then they just cut him on the outside and let the back get as much as he can to the corner.
Now, the New Orleans Saints, known with good cause as one of the outstanding defensive teams in the NFL for several years. Green Bay's young defense getting better every week. 2nd and 5. Sterling Sharp.
That was funny.
Sterling Sharp knew he had nowhere to go. He was a sitting duck pin over there, and he just caught the ball and stepped out.
Yeah, it just looked like a day in a park. He just stood on the sideline, flipped me the ball, and step out of bounds. And the impressive thing about that was Brett Favre. You know, Favre just keeps on rolling. Now watch Ricky Jackson. Jackson, they're not going to throw him the ball over there. Look at this. Just stand there, boop. Look at that. That's how you build completion percentage right there. That's great.
It leaves him 3rd down and about 4. Sharp again, and he is close to the first down at the 12. Von Johnson made the tackle. Sharp gives his own first down signal, of course.
Well, that's where Sterling Sharp really excels. And I always called it in the paint. And the paint is right between the hash marks. Very few wide receivers like to play in there. Sterling Sharp absolutely loves it. He looks forward to it. It's a personal challenge, and he excels.
They're going to measure here. It is very close. Despite Sterling's certainty that it's a first down, the officials will make it official one way or the other.
I don't think they got it. And I'm wrong.
A third of a football good.
Well, Sterling Sharp knew he had it right away. And again, I'll repeat myself. The most impressive thing about Sterling Sharp is that everybody knows he's getting the football, and he still comes up with a first down. In my mind, Sterling Sharp is, to this point, the most valuable player in this league.
Having a brilliant year, leading the NFL in catches coming in, playing with a turf toe today. First down, Green Bay, Edgar Bennett. Oh, nice. 5. Von Johnson put a lick on him, but he held on.
Well, if you're a running back and you're coming through the hole, and especially in the middle of the defense, Von Johnson's on the field, you better believe he's going to get a hold of you. And that is a guy who I like his style. He stays in there. He's big enough to be physical. He's fast enough to run and get into flow. You can't run tight ends down the middle on him because he's fast enough. The guy covers all bases. He's a complete linebacker.
64 tackles coming into the game, and he's the guy running that defense with Sam Mills out of there. 2nd and goal. 3. Favre takes off running close to the goal line, and he may have a first down. It appears he has a first down. He needed to get inside the 2, and it is 1st and goal.
Well, Tim, he wanted Jackie Harris, and the most impressive thing about this, watch Jackie Harris up top. The most impressive thing about this, he knew he didn't have him, so he just took off and ran. And watch, he's looking, he wanted him, wasn't there, now turn it up. Wait, Brett Favre is a tough guy. I think Brett Favre really wants to be a linebacker.
He got to the 1-yard line for a first down. Touchdown, Jackie Harris.
Now we found him. Yeah, he wanted him last play, he wasn't there. This play, he has him. Jackie Harris makes up for the big drop in the first series.
Good looking play on 1st and goal from the 1.
Sure is. Now, here's what they do. They go with the play action with right there to Bennett. Now just work inside. And what happens with that little bit of play action, that makes Ricky Jackson honor it. He can't get out of there fast enough, and Harris gets to his corner for the 6 points.
So Green Bay taking advantage of the fumble by Marcus Dowdell. takes it in for the touchdown, and the point after by Chris Jackie. Brett Favre with a touchdown pass to Harris from 1 yard out. The NFL on CBS at the Louisiana Superdome in the Crescent City of New Orleans. Indoor football, and a good first half here with the Green Bay Packers now leading 10-7 on the touchdown pass from Brett Favre to Jackie Harris from a yard out following the fumble by the Saints' Marcus Dowdell. 22 yards in 6 plays, 2:55 off the clock. Green Bay opened the scoring on a Chris Jackie field goal in the first quarter. Derek Brown set up the touchdown. Wilson to Early for the Saints. And McAfee returns out to the 17-yard line for New Orleans. Tim Houck making the tackle. Outstanding special teamer for the Packers, and Wade Wilson brings him on. Giants whipping up on the struggling Redskins. Philadelphia and Miami in a squeaker. A lot of ex-Eagles on that Miami team.
That Philly team, though, has a lot of grit, Tim.
San Francisco on top of Tampa Bay, of interest to fans watching this game today, of course. Tampa Bay in the Central Division, and 49ers and Saints no doubt will go to the wire in the West. Brown is stacked up at the 16-yard line. May have lost on the play. George Kuntz.
Yeah, another nice. We're seeing a couple of really good smacks around here. You know, both 53s, Vaughn Johnson and George Kuntz, are really stepping it up. And George Kuntz is, as a backer, you know, it's new for him in there. Last year he was outside and inside. What he's got to do a little bit better job of is read things quicker and then step up. I noticed on film a couple times he was reading things and not yet believing his eyes.
About a half-yard loss on the play. Wilson complete. Out to the 25-yard line, Irv Smith, the rookie tight end, and my first opportunity to just point out that he's reveling in the celebration of yesterday's Notre Dame victory.
Well, he can revel all he wants because he's got a good player sitting right beside him, Willie Rowe, number 77. And he's going against Reggie White. Now, this was a matchup, another one I was looking forward to. See, that's exactly, that throw was what Rowe did not want to have happen. And what happens there is Reggie gets you so concerned about working up the field, it gets you off balance, and then he just uses your momentum against you.
4 wide receivers in now for New Orleans. Turner and Dowdell joining Martin and Early. And that's complete to Early. Quinn Early, first down, New Orleans.
This, Tim, is exactly why Willie Rowe is going to be a star in this league. Now, you can beat him once, but not twice. Now, watch. Now, I sit on him hard. Try to throw it. You're not going to beat me. Muscle back underneath. Gives Wilson lots of time. You see it right there. Finds the receiver. Comes back underneath, and Early gets the first down. Willie Rowe does a lot of things well. And one thing that he's really got to do is he's got to be able to play stronger.
What a draft by the Saints, getting 3 starters on offense into this veteran lineup. Rowe, Smith, and Derek Brown. On first down, Wilson connects to Eric Martin. Gain of 6. Pushed out by Bryce Pop.
Right, again, with Reggie White, he's such a powerful guy, you have to be able to set strong on him like this. Look, boom, get the hands up. Now, look, just get on him. That's it. Just stay right at him. If you start to give too much ground, he takes advantage with the club. And if you sit too much, then he'll start to beat you back underneath. So Willie Rowe right now is doing a very good job.
Second down, a long 4. Muster, he's dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Good reaction by Jurkovic, the nose tackle.
Well, that's good adjustment right now by the Green Bay Packers inside. You remember, Tim, the second series, what happened was they were blowing out the middle of the Green Bay Packer defense, you know, and John Jurkovic was just going a certain way, and Hilge would take him out of there, Joel Hilgenberg. Now what's happened, they've made the adjustment on the sideline. Jurkovic is sitting in there, playing that 2-gap, beat the blocker first, then go.
4 wide receivers, and so the nickel defense is in for Green Bay. Mike Pryor and Doug Evans joining the secondary. Wilson with a lot of time. A flag is down. He completes it to Eric Martin. First down yardage. Let's see what the flag is. The flag came down before he actually threw the ball.
Yeah, it came from the side, and I think it's going to be a hold on George Teague with Eric Martin.
Martin, fighting his way through the hold, made the catch.
They're having their caucus there.
Dick Hantak, the referee, signals defensive holding. Either way, New Orleans will have a first down.
Well, kind of a twist for me today, Tim. I came into this game thinking that this was going to be good defense on both sides, and what we've seen really is very good offense from both offenses.
Illegal use of the hands to the face. Defense number 31. Penalty is declined. Holding. Defense number 27. Penalty is declined. The result of the play will be first down, New Orleans.
Well, they got Buckley on the hold and they got Teague to the face, but it doesn't matter. They got the first down anyway.
You know, Jurkovic last week, we talked about him on that last tackle against the Packers. He returned a short kickoff for 13 yards. And his comment afterwards was, even a blind squirrel finds an acorn once in a while. I consider to be myself a great athlete. I'll take on anybody and anything. Golf, tennis, racquetball, ping pong. I'm a gamer.
Well, I admit he's squirrely. He's no squirrel.
First down, New Orleans. That's complete to Smith. And the tight end with two tacklers on him holds on for a gain of 9. Coots and Mitchell on the hit.
Nice hit by Roland Mitchell. New Orleans Saints felt like they could go after Roland Mitchell. They felt like his speed was good but not great. They felt like when the ball's in the air, sometimes he has a problem, as does Buckley. And they said the longer this game goes on, we'll have to keep our eyes because they like to go after Roland Mitchell.
That big rookie tight end, 246 pounds, and he showed some strength there. 7 in a row now for Wade Wilson. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. No, not yet. We have a timeout. We're 20 seconds away from it, but New Orleans takes a timeout. Dome, 2:20 remaining. Eric Martin of the Saints called the timeout, and we believe it's because they were about to have a delay of game penalty on the play clock almost at 0, and Martin alertly called the timeout to avoid the penalty because they have a 2nd and 1 in this situation at the Green Bay 38. So an alert play by the veteran Martin. 20 seconds to go before the 2-minute warning. Ball is spotted just inside the 39-yard line of the Packers. 10-7 Green Bay. Play action. Dropped by Frank Wainwright. He had the first down easily. The second tight end, number 87.
Now they went with the play action right inside the fake up the middle. Wainwright is all open. I mean, there's nobody there, and the ball just beats him up. Look at this. And sometimes in practice, your guys will yell, "Beat him up, ball," and that's exactly what happened.
Wainwright, the third-year man from northern Colorado. Tony Bennett showing a good vertical leap there, trying to bat it down, and a disappointed Wade Wilson. Had hit 7 in a row prior to that one. 3rd and a yard. Derek Brown, and he's got the first down, New Orleans. Inside the 35 of Green Bay. Holland and Bennett on the tackle.
Tim, credit Brad Muster there with a real nice block on Holland that enabled him to get the first down.
We've reached the 2-minute warning. Packers 10, Saints 7. Green Bay leading the Saints 10-7. New Orleans driving at the Green Bay 35. Reggie White hat off during the 2-minute warning, ready to do battle against Wade Wilson and company. They have used Reggie White inside and outside here in the first half. They've lost their rookie linebacker Wayne Simmons to a hamstring. Tony Bennett playing full time. Muster tackled from behind after a gain of about 3. Bryce Pop.
Well, Bryce Pop, he's the guy who's been the biggest surprise for this Packer defense. And everybody you talked to in the organization couldn't be happier for the guy. The guy out of Scranton, Iowa, said at one point when he was in high school, they only had 12 guys in their football team. He said, boy, I really felt bad for the one kid who had to stand on the sideline.
Pop was a two-way player, obviously, a fullback and a linebacker. Wilson is sacked. It's Matt Brock. Second sack by Green Bay. And here's a guy you don't hear too much of, this fifth-year man from Oregon. He's having an outstanding year.
But I'll tell you what he does right here, number 62, what he does real well. He can run for a pretty big guy. Now, he just goes back inside. Yeah, he beats Cooper the classic way. When you pass rush, again, take half the man. In that case, Brock decided to take the inside half, and he beat him nice and clean.
Brock had been playing the left side of the defense until this year. A good run stuffer and gaining more and more respect around the league. 4 wide receivers now for the Saints. Third down. Wilson is flushed, gets a little room to throw, and is dropped right at the line of scrimmage.
That is a beautiful job by Johnny Holland. That is one of the toughest tackles in all of football to make, is the open field tackle. Lots of good coverage there. He has nowhere to go. They're going to go with 2 deep and then the zone underneath. See this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at this. 2, 3 back here. They got 2. Zone in here. Zone in here. Nowhere to go. Now watch Johnny Holland break. This is as hard a thing to do in football as anything. Square up, make the tackle. What a high mark for Johnny Holland.
And it brings up 4th down for Green Bay. Their defense very solid in this first half against New Orleans. And the Saints really offensively have done a lot of really good things. But in the big play times, Green Bay's been able to come up with a good stop. 4th down at the 40-yard line. Anderson comes on and the crowd boos. At halftime, Greg and Terry will have scores and highlights from around the league. And of course, Phoenix, Dallas later, Minnesota, Denver are doubleheader action. And so they'll give you the up-to-date reports in those upcoming games.
That's it. 57 yards for Morton Anderson.
Anderson with a long of 49 this year. 16 of 20 in the field goal department. And his longest 52 yards career. This is a 57-yard try. Well, that'll help unless he was drawn. Bill Moss got into the action a little early.
That's funny.
A lot of finger pointing going on.
And Bill Moss just blew up whoever he was over. And the point drill is going on out there. And most important with that point drill is you got to be convincing. Bill Moss doesn't look like he's really convincing right now.
Encroachment, defense, number 77. Prior to the snap, 5-yard penalty, still the 4th down.
Watch the big rear end, you know, right here at 77. Yeah, see, oh, my telestrator's not working right there. Now he just jumps inside on Derek Kennard and blows him up. No one moved. He lost the point drill, and they got 5 yards, and that takes it from 57 down to 52.
Well, 52 is Anderson's career long. He's accomplished that twice. Hard to imagine Morton Anderson hasn't kicked him longer than that. This is going to be a 53-yard try. No good. Anderson misses from 53, and so the score remains 10-7. That's how close it was.
Ricky Jackson turned the corner, slapped the ball out of Favre's hand.
Wayne Martin came up with it. Well, that happened twice to Favre on Monday night against Kansas City.
They're going to watch him right here on Tootie Robbins, and he just wins this battle. Goes with the arm under, gets to the corner, and all the great outside backers will always slap the football. Lawrence Taylor started it. Ricky Jackson has perfected it.
Brett Favre never saw him, as you can see on those replays. 13th fumble recovery by the New Orleans defense this year, leading the league, and a great opportunity now from the Packer 26-yard line. Derek Brown smacked back, and loses a yard on the play.
Yeah, Yurko right in the face. John Yurkovic, he is really playing well. Now, this guy, when I watch the film, I am so impressed with him. Tough guy.
On Yurkovic, who made that big hit on Derek Brown. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Doesn't he look like a guy that could have been playing in like the 30s? He needs a leather helmet, I think.
2nd and 10 Saints. That's complete to Derek Brown. Brown gets about 9.
What an adjustment by Derek Brown right there.
Holland and Kuntz, the linebackers, made the tackle.
The ball was thrown behind him. He was full speed going forward, and he had to stop and have the body presence to come back and make that catch.
The rookie from Nebraska having a fine year. 29 seconds remaining in the half. The ball is now at the 17-yard line, and for the benefit of Saints fans and Morton Anderson fans, we do want to correct that his career long 60 yards. It didn't sound right when we were given 52. That great veteran. But he missed from 53. But here are the Saints right back down now at the 17-yard line.
And they have their 7 points on the strength of Derek Brown's running. And this is a guy, Derek Brown, who as the season goes on, he said he's feeling more and more tired. Heck, my season's been in college has been over already, and we're at the halfway point. Now, a lot of times that happens with rookies, but the real good ones get stronger as the year goes on. He is a real good one.
3rd down and a yard. Good catch by Irv Smith. He had Houck draped all over him. A late flag is thrown.
And that stops the clock.
21 seconds on the clock. The Saints were ready to go again, but the flag gets them a clock stoppage.
Yeah, and a gutsy call by Ray Rhodes, the defensive coordinator of the Packers. He went with the blitz. Wilson did a very good job of seeing it and knowing where he wanted to go. He had Houck coming from the safety position all the way across to have to cover the tight end Smith. Now watch the blitz. Everybody's coming back inside. See Houck? He's got to come from center field. Nicely done right there by Ray Rhodes on the call right here. And Wade Wilson, the quarterback, and picking it up. Right now, the
Pass
Green Bay
interference.
Packers.
Defense, number 47. Penalty is declined. 1st down.
Right now, they are the best in the National Football League at stopping teams inside the 20. It was a lot better than that, and they ran into the Kansas City Chiefs last week.
Mitchell got the penalty. The ball is at the 11-yard line. They can get a 1st down at the 1. 21 seconds remain. Packers by 3, 1st half.
They're 13th inside the 20, right at the halfway point.
Wilson with time. Marcus Dowdell.
Marcus Dowdell makes up for his earlier fumble with a huge catch. Wade Wilson stood in the pocket under pressure and put the ball the only place it could be.
Dowdell's first touchdown catch of the season, and he has been inactive most of the 1st half of this year. Jim Mora wanting some more speed today, activated Dowdell and Floyd Turner for this game. Anderson's point after. New Orleans on top, 14-10.
The most impressive thing of this touchdown was Wade Wilson stays right in the pocket. Look, he looks to the left, not there. Now he sees it. Pressure by Brock right in his face. Look at this pass. The only place it could be. Very, very good coverage by George Teague on Dowdell. And a nice catch. Look at Brock. That's a happy guy right there, Tim. Now, I think when people were talking about the Saints and they spoke of Wade Wilson, 2 things they said. Number 1, Wade Wilson was playing above his head through the first 5 games. And number 2, he was not playing up to his standard in the last 3 games. today I think we're seeing an excellent effort by Wade Wilson.
He's had an outstanding first half, a very well played first half by both teams on each side of the ball. 90-yard drive for their first score, including the 60-yard run by Derek Brown, their longest drive of the year, for a touchdown. And now Wilson 11 yards to Dowdell for this one.
Well, when you're a rookie and you're going to make your first, there it is. Yeah, and he will remember that one for a long time. That's a beautiful job of concentration by Dowdell.
Dowdell out of Tennessee State, drafted number 10 last year. Spent most of the year on injured reserve, was cut and re-signed this year. And finds himself in the lineup making a big touchdown grab. 26 yards in 4 plays. Anderson. From the goal line, Robert Brooks will return it. And Brooks gets out to the 40-yard line. A flag down upfield and one back at the 15 as well. Tyrone Hughes made the tackle. So the good return by Brooks may come back.
Philly hanging in there with Miami, Tim, 14-13.
A little huddle by the officials.
And he's so excited over his. Look, he's shaking everybody's hand. He's so happy he got his first. Look, he's going off the field. He's going over to the bench. Yeah, hey, look at me. Hey, Quinn's giving him a big hug there. Quinn Early.
For the kicking team, offsides, number 33. That penalty is declined. We have holding on the return by number 72. We will penalize half the distance. First down, Green Bay.
Earl Dotson charged with the hold.
Yeah, I think Mike Holmgren's trying to figure out what the new rule is. If you heard down the sideline, you heard Jim Morris saying that's the new rule. I'm going to have to find out that new rule myself. Might be one of those make it up as you go rules.
We would never accuse the officials of making it up as they go, Matt. You probably did a lot of that in the course of your career.
Anything you can get away with, you get away with.
14-10, Saints lead, 9 seconds left in the half, and Green Bay will likely just snap this ball and hold it and get to the locker room down by 4 in a well-played first half. Still a discussion now. Mike Holmgren being informed as to
the question,
penalty.
Tim, yeah, the question is the kickoff team was offside and they declined the penalty, and then the receiving team got called for holding. I don't know, that should be offsetting to me, so that must be what they're talking about.
Well, they did march it back to the 7-yard line.
This penalty is a new rule this year. If the kicking team fouls prior to possession, then subsequently the receiving team fouls after they have gained possession of the ball. The foul by the kicking team is ignored. The receiving team gets a first down after penalizing their foul.
That is
excellent explanation.
Yes, yeah. What the heck did he just say? That's refereeing 101.
Well, that was excellent. Dick Hantak. The key really being that the foul occurred after they achieved possession, catching the ball, and therefore that foul is the one that takes precedence, and the penalty is against Green Bay back to the 7, and they just put the ball down and we're out of here for the halftime. I think I'll get Hantak up here instead of Millen for the second half. He's great. That's the end of the first half. Saints 14-10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Toyota, makers of the exciting all-new Celica. Watch out, it's here. Keystone, Keystone Light, and Keystone Dry. Hewlett-Packard DeskJet and LaserJet printers. And by Payne Weber, we believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. Can your beer do this? UPS, the official package delivery company of the NFL. And by Braun Flex Control, the first electric shaver with a pivoting head that adjusts to every contour of your face.
Well, here at the Superdome, the Saints lead Green Bay 14-10. A tall order for the Packers today, Matt Millen, coming in off a Monday night game at Kansas City. Here they come in playing a team who had a bye week at home in the Superdome with a 6-2 record.
Yeah, but I think they can be pretty proud of the kind of football they've played in the first half. Certainly they've had good offensive show and good defense, and especially down in the goal line right here. Watch Jackie Harris on Ricky Jackson. Look, Ricky Jackson gets his hands on him, then Harris just spins out of there, gets free for the touchdown.
That gave the Packers a 10-7 lead in the second quarter, and then the Saints came right back the other way.
Yeah, well, sometimes you can do everything right defensively, and you still can't stop the touchdown, and that's what happened here. Dowdell with his first touchdown, and a real happy guy.
Marcus Dowdell, number 80 from Wilson from 11 yards out. That made it 14-10. That's how we stand.
This is unbelievable. And they did score. You know, they have the 10 points, Green Bay, but they only have 80 yards of total offense as opposed to the 230 almost of the New Orleans Saints. That's incredible.
Well, they got the interception by Butler at the Green Bay 35 that led to the Jackie field goal. And then they recovered Dowdell's fumble in the second quarter. George Teague setting up the touchdown pass to Harris. So Brett Favre has not had to go a distance to get the points as yet. And they're down only by 4 against this very tough New Orleans Saints defensive squad. Marcus Wilson and Robert Brooks are back awaiting Anderson's kickoff. Brooks, a dangerous kickoff returner, averaging nearly 30 yards a pop. And it's Brooks.
Boy, he's dangerous.
Still going and ran into his own man. At the 49-yard line, Brooks had beaten all the Saints.
But he couldn't beat Dexter McNabb from the back, Tim.
And there is a disappointed Dexter McNabb just trying to do the right thing. He just blocked the wrong guy.
Well, this guy, Robert Brooks, is very exciting because what he has is not the moves that you see right there, but the great vision. Now you have to look at his cut back inside, and then a good tackle by Dexter McNabb, and you saw Brooks at the bottom of the pile. Oh, he was mad.
He was by Anderson, the last man, and Brooks can fly. Nonetheless, Green Bay with a first down in Saints territory at the 49. Darrell Thompson, about 5. Ricky Jackson on the tackle.
Well, you can see right here, the first half wasn't so easy. He was hurried 6 times, was sacked twice and knocked down. So the times that he's had to throw, he's been under some pressure. The good thing is he hasn't thrown or forced any bad passes. What he does have to do in the second half, however, is get the ball into Sterling Sharp's hands.
2nd and 5. They move to the split back formation from the eye. Quick flare out to Sharp, hit immediately by Vince Buck.
Boy, Buck was all over that. And very nice job of closing on the ball. Watch, he'll read it, see the quarterback, not a man. Now look, break on the ball. Put your head right in the middle of his back. That's good defense.
Buck in on 36 tackles coming into the game with 29 of them solo, and he put quite a lick on Sharp, who took himself out here for a little attention. Remember, he's playing with a turf toe already, and it looks like he took a smack in the head on that one. 3rd down and 5.
It looks like he got maybe poked in the eye or something right there, Tim.
Jones and Spencer into the Saints secondary now. Out the left side to Clayton, and Clayton has a first down for Green Bay.
Nice adjustment by Brett Favre. He read the blitz. He knew where he had to go. He had Clayton in the slot. Ball was snapped. Boom. It was right out there. Clayton for the first down.
to the 35-yard line of New Orleans. Sterling Sharp getting some attention. You saw that in the last shot, dealing on the sideline, he seemed to be favoring his eye. Now they've got an ice bag up there. Clayton and Brooks are the wide receivers now. Robert Brooks in for Sharp. Thompson, he's met at the corner, nowhere to go. Ricky Jackson unblocked, waiting for him.
Well, he's unblocked because he knew exactly how to play the Bob Trejo. When he's seen this thing in his sleep. Now what happens if the guard's coming out at you, what you'll do is you'll jump right on top. You're going to watch him at the top. If the guard comes too shallow, you just get deeper. Now, they try to cut him with McNabb. He jumps over him. The guard is too shallow, so he just comes up the field a little bit more, makes the play.
Two tight ends in now. Ed West joining Jackie Harris. Second down and 10. Favre steps up in the pocket now, flush to the left. Runs to the 30-yard line for a gain of 5 and a very late flag. Williams made the tackle, and
Favre comes up limping a little bit.
you have to assume it might have been called a late hit. I'm not sure why. He dove forward. He didn't slide. Unless he put the head on him. Let's see what Dick Cantack, the referee, says about that.
And watch him at the end. Now, instead of sliding, he'll dive. Hey, got Williams
Personal
hit him with the
foul.
top of his head.
Defense number 90. Spearing. 15 yards. First down.
Well, they are calling that much more closely this year, and particularly when it involves a quarterback.
Now, we'll watch Williams with his head is turned down, hits him right on the top of his head. See that?
Now, there's no doubt about him getting his head into the back of Brett Favre, and the rule book says you cannot use the crown of your helmet, and that's obviously a safety type call. First down, Green Bay at the 15.
Yeah, I don't think Williams really wanted to spear him. It just kind of happened.
Favre flushed by Williams, unloads, almost intercepted by Ricky Jackson. Mark Clayton, the intended receiver, and
yes.
Clayton broke up that play. Bennett, pardon me.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bennett did a tremendous job of going into transition and being the offensive guy to the defensive guy. Really makes a good defensive play at the end. Williams comes on the pressure, beats Thompson with power. Now Favre makes a bad decision and just throws it out there. Watch Bennett at the end. Watch the transition game. See that he's open. Now he turns into a defensive back and slaps the ball out of Jackson's hand.
That's a good job. Edgar Bennett.
And Gil Haskell's telling him right there.
Yeah, I think there'll be some conversation between Holmgren and Favre on this little timeout. We're told that Sterling Sharp has a bloody nose. You see them trying to stop the flow of blood there. That is not the kind of injury that'll keep that guy out very long. Unless he doesn't want to get his jersey messy. I expect he'll be back out here shortly.
Well, I mean, if you just showed that shot right there, it wouldn't look like a bloody nose. It looked like somebody was kind of foul smelling on the sideline.
From the 15-yard line, it is second down, Green Bay. This all set up by the return. Thompson to the 8-yard line. Turnbull and Williams made the tackle.
Well, Tim, they do lead in the red zone, their offense in the league, but last week it was just a disaster. You can see they came away with 2 field goals and 2 fumbles going in, and this is not what they can have happen here. Green Bay Packers have got to get a score right here, 6 points.
Joel Smengi comes into the Saints defensive lineup, number 99, 3rd and 4, inside the 10. Jackie Harris, make it to Ed West, pardon me, West, number 86, the second of the 2 tight ends in that formation, and the veteran battles his way to about the 2-yard line.
And Tim, you can see what frustrates Mike Holmgren with Brett Favre. On that one, you could not have played that any better. He comes out, he reads the blitz, he knows where he wants to go with it, ball's right on the money. Now, 3 plays previous, he gets flushed out of the pocket and forces a bad throw, only to have Edgar Bennett make the big play. So he's looking for consistency out of Brett Favre.
They have a 1st and goal. Favre nearly fell down. Bennett gets a yard. Stopped at the 1.
And that happened on Monday night again. Frank Winters, the center, gets a push. He steps on Brett Favre's foot. It's almost like it's planned anymore. Favre did a gallant effort trying to get the ball. Watch the feet of Brett Favre. And that time, it's Doug Weidel who steps on his foot.
Bennett, a good job to pick up a yard and a tough play. 10th play of this drive. 2nd and goal from the 1. Play action. Favre will lose a yard. Forced out. Good defensive pursuit, James Williams.
Yeah, right into the strength of James Williams. James Williams can run. That guy can flat out fly. And you're going to watch, he just comes from the middle of the field out as Favre is trying to buy some time. Watch Williams turn on the Jets. Take a good angle, run right by Jackson and make the tackle.
That was the same play that went for the score the last time. Play action fake to Bennett, trying to get it to Harris. It wasn't there for Favre. And he took off running. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. And he just throws that away.
Tim, Ricky Jackson looked like he was offside. He jumped that count so well. He was in the backfield before Favre could ever get out of there. What Ricky Jackson has always done very, very well is anticipate the count. Watch him to the right side of your screen, number 57. He's just going to come. Look at this. He starts before the ball's ever snapped. Forces the play. Nowhere to go with the ball. Favre throws it away.
Jackie will attempt a field goal from the 11. And it is good. A 21-yard field goal by Chris Jackie. And it's a 1-point game. Well, the New Orleans defense holding the Packers to a field goal as they got to the 1-yard line after that fine kickoff return by Brooks to the New Orleans 49-yard line, but they only get 3 out of it as this unit here, getting a well-deserved breather at the moment, just stuffed them down there in deep. McAfee and Hughes are the deep men as Jackie's kickoff is a line shot and goes out of bounds. Now, it's not too often that'll happen to Jackie. It went out at about the 7 or 8 yard line. Well, next Saturday here on CBS Sports at 3:30 Eastern, the Franklin Fun Shark Shootout. Greg Norman will host Arnold Palmer, Ray Floyd, Tom Kite, and many more of the world's greatest golfers in a unique team competition. And in fact, our dearly beloved director Artie Kempner will be deserting us next week. Matt, he's going down there to follow Greg Norman and company around.
Can you believe that our director would leave a football game for golf? Unbelievable.
I know what a devoted fan you are of that game, Matt. It's first down at the 35. Derek Brown is dropped at the 32-yard line, and the ball came loose.
Bennett blew up the field and blew everything up in front of him, and Brown went over the top of him.
Saints maintain possession, but a loss on the play of a couple.
Tony Bennett right there, Tim, and where he is right now with the Packers is, the first week you come back, you got the fresh legs, you're going hard as you can go. The next week you come, you get a little bit of soreness. Now, week 3, you're starting to work it out, and you're getting a little bit of that rust off, and that's where he is. He's not 100% yet, but he's almost there.
2nd and 12 for New Orleans. Play action. Wilson, a low pass, incomplete. Intended for Floyd Turner.
I'll tell you what, Reggie's fired up. Reggie White just came blowing up the middle again, and he's talking to the offensive line. Rule number 1, never get an all-pro Hall of Fame defensive lineman mad. I mean, you tell him how nice his wife is, how good his kids are doing, everything you can. Don't get that guy mad.
White has been playing both from the outside and the inside in this game so far. And that time he came clean up the middle. 3rd down and 12 from the shotgun this time. Wilson deep sideline, complete to Dowdell, short of the first down. Thrown back by Terrell Buckley.
Nice play by Terrell Buckley on the other end, but he should go over and thank Reggie White. Reggie White runs a very nice stunt. Now, the key to this stunt is that he comes upfield with his shoulders square. Watch him. There, take the step, now come upfield. Watch Kennard. Boom, get out of my way. Throw him right by and hit right. I'll tell you what, when this guy is cranked up, he's as good as anybody who's ever played the game.
Kennard, that 300-pounder, has been tossed around like a rag doll a couple of times by White today.
A big rag doll.
Down. Robert Brooks back to receive the punt from Barnhart. And Robert Brooks all the way to the 42-yard line. Make it the 47. And Brooks with another huge return. 7 minutes to go in the third. That Robert Brooks, number 87, stepped out at the 48-yard line. Still an outstanding return. And he's taken over the punt returning duties from Terrell Buckley, who after the Bear game 2 games ago, Buckley went to Coach Mike Holmgren and suggested that maybe he wouldn't be the best return man. He had been struggling out there trying to judge when to make a fair catch, and in fact wasn't even on the field for one against the Bears. So Brooks has taken over, and he comes up with a big one here. First down at the 48. Favre screen pass to Edgar Bennett, played beautifully by Les Miller.
Hey, that's good instinct right there by Les Miller. There's a reason why the guy who's blocking you leaves you. And he read it perfectly. The guy took off to get out in front of the blocks upfield, and Miller just followed and made the tackle.
Miller comes off, Smengi comes on. They do this in the second and third and long. Smengi, reserve linebacker, comes in here with a little more speed on the passing down. Second and 14. There's Smengi, number 99. Out of Western Michigan, 4-year man. Thompson in motion. Favre, bad pass intended for Harris, the tight end.
So he got some pressure from the inside off of Kenny Rutgers' inside from Ronaldo Turnbull. And he still had time to make that throw and make a good one. It just got away from him.
Sterling Sharp has not returned to the Packer lineup as yet. They're still attending to his nose over on the bench. And gotta believe it's more than a nosebleed from Sterling Sharp. That's our last report. 3 wide receivers, Clayton Brooks and Ron Lewis on 3rd and 14. And the pass intended for Brooks is incomplete. Green Bay will punt.
Well, Favre wasn't happy with that. Brooks apparently didn't do what Favre thought he was going to do, because right when the ball was let go, as you see the numbers 12 out of 18, when the ball was let go, he threw his arms up in the air like, hey, Brooks, what are you doing? Now he's talking to John Gruden right there, the receivers coach.
Well, again, Brooks would not normally be in there as a regular in Sterling Sharp's place.
Nice kick.
Wagner's kick hits in the end zone and will be a touchback. So we'll return to the Superdome. 14-13, Saints 1-point lead. We've been watching Sterling Sharp during this last commercial. Now you can see just this is a live shot. He's bothered by his eye. They were working on the upper bridge portion of his nose for quite some time. You can see him kind of blinking and flexing his eyes. He's not comfortable, it appears, with his vision. And with that baseball hat on, that's not a good sign for the Green Bay Packers that he'll get back into this. First down at the 20-yard line, New Orleans with a 1-point lead. Good job by Wilson to Muster, and Muster close to the first down. Looks like he has it on forward progress before he's driven back by Keough Coleman, number 54.
Well, I'll tell you, good job by Wilson of stepping up, but one thing has really become clear. Reggie White, number 92, has really picked it up. Now watch, there's a back in there trying to help Willie Rowe. He has forced him to step up. Jurkovic then ends up getting on the tackle along with Bennett, but right now Reggie White is playing as good as I've seen him play all year.
Keough Coleman, who made that tackle, is in for Bryce Kopp, who has a hamstring injury that has him out of the lineup. So the Packers losing 2 key starters. Wilson's pass is off the mark, intended for Eric Martin, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 31 of New Orleans. And Sam Mills on the sideline. The Saints hope to have him back next week. Later here on CBS, our doubleheader action will feature Phoenix at Dallas. Jason Garrett scheduled to start. Bernie Kosar scheduled to see action for the Cowboys. Minnesota at Denver, and some of you will see Atlanta at the Los Angeles Rams. That's all ahead. The NFL on CBS continues. 2nd and 10 from the 31. Derek Brown with a flag down and a second flag. Brown got about 4.
Well, it looks like Reggie White jumped in there. Didn't get back in time.
Now we're told that it is a vision problem for Sterling Sharp. Apparently his helmet got driven into his eye, and he's just not able to see real well. So we're not sure whether he'll get back in or not.
Number 92, 5-yard penalty. Repeat the down. 2nd down.
Well, if you're Sterling Sharp right now and you have a vision problem, maybe you come and see 2 or 3 balls, you just usually pick the middle one. Hope it's right.
Well, evidently he doesn't have your confidence to attempt that as yet. One thing about Sharp, he does not like to be sitting on the sideline.
No, that's as competitive a guy as there is in the league.
Reggie White got the offside penalty. He has been a fired-up player today. 2nd and 5, New Orleans. Wilson, and a diving grab, incomplete. Intended for Irv Smith, and he thinks he caught it. The officials say otherwise.
Well, that brings up 3rd and 5, and again, Reggie White taking the high road on that time on Willie Rope. What he is doing with Willie Rope right now is he's really has him confused. He has him off guard. A couple of times he's gone with power on him, then he's got him off balance, taking him upfield and trying to throw him, working back underneath. The Saints now are countering by keeping him back to his side, as they are in this play, or they will slide to him.
It's a 3rd and 5, New Orleans, from the shotgun now. That's complete for a 1st down. Eric Martin, their go-to guy, delivers.
Watch the stunt again with Reggie White. What they're doing, this is good football. Watch the back to this side. He's responsible with Willie Rope on White, so White will take a step and come back underneath. Look at this. Pressure all over Wilson. Wilson right now is playing very, very well. He's standing in there and he's finding his receivers with big completions.
Martin making a fine catch. The all-time Saints leader in career receptions. That was number 500. 1st down, New Orleans. They lead by 1. Derek Brown got only about a yard. Yurkovich was there to stop him. For an NFL update, let's go to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, in Tampa, the Steve Young to Jerry Rice combination has clicked for the 4th time today. This one 26 yards. The extra point makes it a 38-21 San Francisco lead over the Bucs. Tim and Matthew, back to you in New Orleans.
Well, thank you, Greg. Well, your old pal Steve Young looks like that thumb isn't bothering him anymore.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like the thumb is bothering Jerry Rice either. When he gets on a roll, forget it.
Plus that 49er defense getting better every week after an early struggle. Draw play. Derek Brown still going and is dropped after a gain of 5, approaching midfield.
He has got some very good balance. You see John Yurkovich worked upfield. They came up the middle with that inside play. Yurko comes all the way back, tries to make the tackle. Derek Brown does his Curly Howard and Larry Moe and Curly imitation, gets right back out there. The only thing I missed was the whoop-a-whoop at the end.
Oh, man, I guess I'm going to have to watch at least one episode of The Three Stooges before the season's over. 3rd down and 4. They're at the 49. Derek Brown with 91 yards. Another good catch. This time Quinn Early. Make it Turner. Floyd Turner, number 88.
Wade Wilson is on fire. He is seeing everything. He is standing in the pocket. He is throwing with authority. He could not be playing better. That time, Carl Smith, the coordinator, comes out with a 4-receiver set, spreads the defense, opens up the middle of the field. Turner comes back inside, and Wilson is right on target. Very good offense.
New Orleans at the 40-yard line. Saints driving. Wilson to throw again, and that one's incomplete. Intended for Irv Smith.
Nice break by Leroy Butler. Strong safety. Butler is playing right now as well as any safety in the league. And what happened on the last play? Smith made his break. Butler broke underneath him and tried for the ball. And what happens there, if the ball is going to be complete, it's going to be complete down and away. It really makes it a difficult pass to complete. Good play by Butler.
Wilson now 18 of 24, 166 yards on the game. 17 of 24, correction. Derek Brown, not much. Half a yard.
Good defense.
Reggie White is there. We've been talking about this battle between White and the rookie Willie Roaf, and of course they asked Reggie, who played briefly against him in a preseason game for part of a game, and Reggie White said about Roaf, if you're a veteran, you got to be impressed with a guy who comes in his first year and plays as well as Roaf has. The only other guy I've seen do that is Richmond Webb in Miami, and he's of course been a Pro Bowler in his first 3 seasons in the league.
Well, the other one that I see is Anthony Munoz and Willie Roaf. In fact, he kind of plays a lot like Anthony Munoz.
Third down and 10. Pressure on Wilson. The ball comes loose. Packers have it. Johnny Holland stripped it away from Wilson.
Gutsy call, Tim.
Matt Brock made the recovery.
Gutsy call by Ray Rhodes, the coordinator. He brings everybody up on the line of scrimmage, comes with a blitz off the corner, then drops off into the zone. Here's the concept that works perfectly. You bring your safeties up and you cover the guards. Now you have everybody accounted for here. That frees the outside backer. They will step. This means Kennard has to have a double read. He can't get there in time. Now watch Holland's foot. Boink. Kicks the ball out. That's a little taekwondo look right there. Watch his foot come up and give him the shot right there. See that? That creates the fumble and a big turnover for the Packers.
Green Bay first down. There's Johnny Holland having an outstanding year on the Packer linebacking defensive line. Sharp is back in the lineup. Favre pumps once, is flushed and sacks. 4 sacks by New Orleans. Les Miller's time.
Well, this is one of the guys they were really excited about having back, Les Miller. You watch him, number 69. Now, Les Miller makes the tackle. Ronaldo Turnbull makes the play. Watch Turnbull coming off the corner, number 97 on Rutgers. He forces him up. No way to go with the ball. Now watch the relentless pursuit right there. I read that somewhere, relentless pursuit.
Very good. I like that. It's right up there with Homer, the Iliad and the Odyssey. Second down at 13. Favre complete to midfield, short of the first down. Sterling Sharp seeing well enough to haul that one in.
Yeah, he just picked the middle one of those double or triple, whatever he's seeing. Well, whenever this guy is on the field, you've got to get the football into his hands. And you can't say enough about Sterling Sharp here with 5 receptions. Now you'll see there's only 26 yards, but those are the yards that move the chains, and they're also the guy, he's also the guy who gets the first down.
Third down, 3. Favre, the touch pass, and it is incomplete. Intended for Sharp.
Good job by Jones.
Reginald Jones, number 27. Looked like he got a hand on it.
Yeah, they knew you're going to go. Now, when you're the defender and you're matched up on Sterling Sharp, you know the ball's coming to you in third down situations. Watch, see what he does. He positions himself inside and gives Sharp only one way to go. That way you can drive on the ball a lot better, which is exactly what he does. Very good defense.
Into punt, standing at the 35-yard line. Hughes signals fair catch at the 12 and makes it there. We've reached the end of the third quarter with the score, the New Orleans Saints 14, the Green Bay Packers 13. Our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
Next Sunday on the NFL Today, Greg and Terry will turn back the clock 30 years for a special look at the day they played football. Reflections from the players and coaches who took the field 2 days after the assassination of President Kennedy. That's next Sunday on the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern Time. First down, New Orleans at their own 13-yard line following Wagner's punt. Derek Brown, and Brown close to a first down. Stopped by Reggie White. It came 9 yards deep to make the tackle on him.
Yeah, well, Matt Brock got up. Yeah, Matt Brock got up and said, hey, they're holding me, and the flag was already down.
Holding. Offense, number 70. Penalized half the distance to the goal line. Replay the down. First down.
Watch Brock, 62 right here on Port. I'm sorry, right here on Port, 70. Now watch, he gets to the corner. Now he gets his hands. He tries to throw him right there. There was the hold. Wasn't a very good hold.
just good enough to get a penalty.
Yeah, if you're going to hold somebody, man, really hold them.
First and 15 back at the 6-yard line now of New Orleans. Wilson from the end zone, the screen to Brown. Well played by Green Bay, a gain of about 6 on the play. They'll leave 2nd and 9.
Yeah, well played by Johnny Holland, number 50 right there. And what Holland did, and what happens in screen when you're in zone, you drop off, everybody's coming at you, you got all those linemen out in front of you, in the back behind them. What you have to do is buy time. And you get out there and you play the hand game, and you just buy as much time so all of your other buddies can get over there and help make the play. Another high mark by Johnny Holland.
Enabling Brock to make the tackle, along with Leroy Butler having a strong game. 2nd and 7. They gave him another yard more than we were giving him on the call. This is Brown trying to get wide left, and he's forced out of bounds inside the 20 by Roland Mitchell, number 47.
And Tim, they've done a pretty good job in the second half on Derek Brown. Now what they did right there was Bennett came up and really blew up the back trying to block him. That forced him even wider, and that allows your pursuit to come over. Now, as long as you're playing defense and the guy is running sideline to sideline, you're doing a good job.
It's going to leave them 3rd and a long 4 at the 19-yard line. A 1-point lead for the Saints early in the 4th quarter. Brown again. Make it Hilliard. Dalton Hilliard, and he's got the first down.
Well, Tim, there's a matchup of the veteran Hilliard on Johnny Holland, and that time Hilliard wins. Holland came over the top, and when you're making that kind of tackle, when you're going from left to right, you really have to cut down your angle so you don't give Hilliard any kind of cutback room. He's going to be coming from the top of your screen, left to right. Watch Holland. He gets too far. See that? He gets too far upfield, and Dalton goes with the old double dip spin and gets the first down.
And Derek Kennard is the injured Saints player. We have a timeout. We'll be right back.
Sponsored by Budweiser.
Well, Wilson, 18 of 25, has been sharp today. 2 touchdown passes. And speaking of sharp, he's got 5 more receptions in this game, adding to his league-leading 57 coming in. And points off turnovers, always key. 10 by the Pack, 7 by the Saints. And it's a 1-point game. Tim Ryan with Matt Millen. There's Sterling Sharp. Got back in action after being knocked in the eye with his own helmet. Brad Muster for the Saints gets about a yard. Derek Kennard.
Looks like a calf. Actually looks like a turkey leg. Big one. And whenever Thanksgiving's coming up, I start thinking about that.
Matt Brock is now down for Green Bay. Now remember, he injured his knee in the game against Kansas City Monday night. And it may be a repeat of that. So we have another timeout, and we'll return in a moment.
The National Football League is sponsored by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for a crisp, clean, classic taste. AT&T, we help put your world within reach. Energizer brand batteries, nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and going. And by Burger King and its everyday value menu. Have it your way. I love this place.
Tim Ryan with Matt Millen. We're in the 4th quarter at the Superdome, and it is still a 1-point game. Saints 14-13. Under the 13-minute mark we go. Wade Wilson has been sacked 3 times in this game, knocked down 8 times, and he is still having himself quite a day. And he hits Eric Martin for a gain of 8, maybe 9.
And on the money again and whacked again. Jurkovic right there, Davey right there.
Roland Mitchell made the tackle on the play downfield, and Matt Brock left the field for the Green Bay Packers, favoring his knee that had been injured last Monday night with an illegal chop block by the Kansas City Chiefs. That was a penalty called at the time. And Don Davey was in for a play. Reggie White has come back in now. Replacing Brock is David Grant, number 98. A 5-year man from West Virginia. Derek Brown on 3rd and yard. He has a first down, New Orleans.
That was all Derek Brown, Tim. Tony Bennett played it really well, and Irv Smith, the tight end, strung it all the way out. Holland was right there. Derek Brown comes, stretches it wide, sees where he has to go, and then really hits it upfield. Watch how he stretches it to his left. Now, right there. See that? Beautiful. That's good defense and good offense. Sometimes you do everything right, and hey, the guy picks it up anyway.
First down at the 39-yard line. Green Bay without 2 starters on defense now. Bryce Kopp and Matt Brock, both out with injuries. Play action, and Wilson is going to be sacked by White. 4th Green Bay sack today.
Tim, Reggie White should go back and thank all of his defensive backfield guys, because there was nowhere to throw the football. Watch Reggie White work right there on Kennard. Goes with the power. Get out of my way. Now just work upfield. Wilson had a lot of time, and with a guy like Reggie White, he's going to get there sooner or later. Look at it. Looking at 1, 2, 3 guys out. Nowhere to throw the football. Reggie White has already beaten Kennard right up here, and that's a sack.
Second sack of the day by White. 9.5 on the season. Derek Brown trying to find running room, and Reggie White cuts him off.
Tim, I got to tell you, this is the best I have seen Reggie White play all year. Up to this point, I've watched film after film, and it looks to me that Reggie is not the same player as he's been. He's lost a step. Sometimes he gets tired. He takes himself out. Right now, I don't think I've ever seen him play a better football game. He is dominating Kennard. He is schooling Willie Rowe. You try to run away from him, he's making a play. You try to block away from him in the pass game, slide to him, keep it back in. He still has 2 sacks. The best I've ever seen him play.
In his 9th year out of Tennessee, an expensive free agent from the Eagles, playing up to that money today, and that is intercepted by Holland. Johnny Holland lost the ball, but the Packers have it.
Boy, that was some good football right there.
Off the hands of Marcus Dowdell.
Boy, number 1, Reggie White puts big-time pressure on Wilson. Number 2, the ball is tipped. 3, Holland comes up with it in the air, and then at the end, Turner makes a great defensive play by slapping the ball. There's the pressure. There's the tip. Here comes Holland with the pick. Now watch the receiver at the top. Watch Turner. Slap the ball out of there. Ball is loose. Reggie, that Reggie who gets it?
Yep, Reggie White. He's done it all today.
He's unbelievable.
And Wade Wilson upset with that turn of events. First down, Green Bay at the 30-yard line. Darrell Thompson nowhere. Knifing in underneath to break up the play. Pig Goff, number 91.
Tim, 2 guys on this Packer defense, Johnny Holland and Reggie White, are carrying the load for the Green Bay Packers. Now, I am not ordinarily a guy who likes to just rave about players. Matter of fact, that always raises a red flag in my mind. But Reggie White, this is the best I've ever seen him play, and Johnny Holland is right there with him.
Second down and 9. Favre hit by Ricky Jackson.
Hey, just when you start talking about vets, here comes Ricky Jackson. Don't forget about me. I've played the game long. I know how to do it. I use my quickness and watch him come off the corner. Get the good jump, work upfield. Harry Galbraith had a double read, had to go back inside. That freed up Jackson off the corner. No one touches him. Sack.
5 sacks today by the Saints, 2 by the veteran Jackson. Report on Matt Brock of the Packers, a sprained knee, probably the same one he injured against Kansas City Monday night. Edgar Bennett on the draw,
I like that
and
call.
he gets to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I like that call because you weren't going to give Brett Favre a chance to try to force for the first down. You wanted to take advantage of the pressure up the field, set yourself up for the Chris Jackie field goal.
Wayne Martin tripped him up. Von Johnson finished him off. The ball at the 26-yard line. Jackie will tee it up at the 34. Frank Winters, the snapper. Brian Wagner, the punter, is the holder. A 44-yard attempt by Jackie. And Jackie is good, and the Packers have regained the lead. A 44-yard field goal by Chris Jackie. It is 16-14, Green Bay. .8:01 remaining regulation time. Green Bay by 2. Jackie's high kickoff will be short. Comes down at the 10. Fred McAfee. Look out. A flag is down as Jackie makes the tackle. The Green Bay 37-yard line.
Beautiful job of blocking on that return, Tim. That hole opened wide open in the middle of the field.
55 yards the return by McAfee.
Offside on the kickoff. Kicking team number 38. Penalty is declined. First down.
Nice block by Wainwright. Nice block by Kennard. Now watch Chris Jackie come out. This is what a kicker has to do. Just don't let him get by you. Yeah, you take a shot to the face for McAfee, but he prevented the touchdown.
Bruce Pickens was offside. The ball is spotted at the 37-yard line. New Orleans in Packer territory. 7:48 to go. Derek Brown. Well strung out. George Teague, the rookie safety, making the play. And Tony Bennett making the tackle.
Yeah. You know what, Tim? Tony Bennett, after the first quarter when they were getting to the corner, he has been flawless. Every time they've tried to get to his corner, he has used great leverage, got his hands under the pad to the tight end, just worked him down the line of scrimmage, gets rid of him, and forces everything wide. Tony Bennett is playing a very good outside backer today.
49ers score over Tampa Bay. Bad news for Saints fans. 45-21 in that game. Tampa Bay continues to struggle in the Central Division. They'll fall to 2-7. Second down and 15. Wilson sideliner cut by Eric Martin, and Martin battles for the first down.
This is a game.
Buckley knocked him out. For an NFL update, let's go back to Greg Gumbel in New York.
All right, Tim, you were talking about that 49er Tampa Bay score. Ricky Waters from a yard out, the NFL's highest scoring team, at it again. The Niners leading the Bucs 45-21. Less than 8 minutes to play in the game, Tim.
Well, thank you, Greg. And we saw earlier from Greg what a day Steve Young is having with Jerry Rice. So the Buccaneers taking it on the chin from the 49ers. They look very tough indeed. First down on the great effort by Eric Martin here. Good time, and that is incomplete. Intended for Irv Smith, the tight end, and Butler with the coverage. Wilson now 20 of 29. That one a little too low for the rookie Smith.
Well, you see the 2 interceptions now. One of them was a bat up in the air that Johnny Holland came down. Wade Wilson's played very, very well. I mean, they have been all over him. The Packer rush has been all over him. He's stood in there, and he's found his receiver, and he's gone with authority.
Second and 10, New Orleans, 27-yard line of Green Bay, 6:56 remaining to play. Derek Brown, good hold for Brown, hard running to the 20.
You know what I like about Derek Brown, Tim? Now he knows that Bennett has been taking away the outside. So what he's doing right now is he's stretching that defense, making it open up, play sideline to sideline, and then blow it right up the middle. This is really incredible. Look at New Orleans tripling Green Bay in total yards.
101 yards now for Derek Brown. He had a 60-yarder back in the first half, setting up a Green Bay score. And this offensive line of the Saints doing a great job today, both with the rush and protecting when needed. To the 17-yard line. Derek Brown has a first down. Bennett and Kuntz on the tackle. Well, it may be close enough to measure.
Well, if you ask Derek Brown, he says yes. Look at him. He's not waving hi at anybody. He's saying that's a first down. I am very, very impressed with Derek Brown. Now, you'll see he's only got 16 yards in the second half. But on this past carry, he showed exactly what he has to do. See, he knows what he's got to do. Turns his shoulders upfield, pulls his way, puts his head down, gives himself an opportunity to pick up the first, and he did pick up the first.
The number 4 pick this year out of Nebraska. And remember, the Saints lost Lorenzo Neal, another outstanding young player, gone for the season with an injury, and they have Vaughn Dunbar in injured reserve. So they've got really an outstanding array of running backs, and Derek Brown has taken up the slack here in his rookie year from Nebraska. Fred McAfee can't get back into the lineup.
Well, what I like about the kid Brown is the fact that he plays like he belongs there. I mean, this is his offense.
First down. Saints threatening. Muster ahead to the 15-yard line, a gain of 2.
I like that again. Carl Smith is having a good game calling the offense. And he went early in the game with that little trap with Muster inside. It worked. Now they got away from it. Now you're going to soften up the middle again. You come back with the trap with Muster up again. Carl Smith is having a big day also.
Jurkovic on the tackle with the linebacker Kuntz. Second down and 8 from the 15-yard line. 5:21 on the clock. Green Bay by 2.
Comes the audible.
Wilson fell.
Nice tackle by George T.
To the 10-yard line, Wade Wilson on a broken play.
Well, here's the mistake by the defensive end. He's going to come. You always stay as the deepest back. Tony Bennett, he went for the fake, although it wasn't supposed to be a fake. But when you are the end man on the line of scrimmage, you always stay as deep as the deepest guy. That time he tried to get into the flow, and that enabled Wilson to come back around and put him in a third and short situation.
Third down, 3 to go, just outside the 10. Early, Turner in at wide receiver. And Wilson right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard gain.
Well, put a grade A+ on John Jurkovic. Jurkovic blew up the field, anticipated the count, and really made the play and forced Wade Wilson to have to scramble. Watch him right here, number 64. He's going to go. Look at that quick arm over on Hilgenberg, powers the guard. You can't play that any better.
Wilson did all he could do, but it is 4th down, and Morton Anderson time for the lead. Joel Hilgenberg, the snapper. The punter, Tommy Barnhart, will hold. 27-yard field goal by Anderson is good. And the Saints are back in front by 1.
Well, the Green Bay Packers come up with a big defensive series inside the 20 on the strength of John Jurkovic's play. What we've seen today from the Packer defense, a lot of guys have really stepped up. This is not an easy place to play. Reggie White playing an unbelievable game. John Jurkovic, after a slow early start, has really come on. Johnny Holland playing a heck of a football game.
Matt, you got to also say for Green Bay, they're losing the game here, may well lose it, but something I pointed out at the beginning of this second half that their fans in Green Bay are certainly aware of. Here they play a Monday night game in very difficult territory in Arrowhead Stadium. Then they come down, they have to play in the Superdome, which is tough duty for any visiting team. And they're playing a team that's had a bye week,
right,
well rested, lying in wait.
And that team that played the bye week, the New Orleans Saints, particularly on offense, they are really showing me something here today. Wade Wilson has played a phenomenal game. He has feet all day long. He stood in the pocket, and he's delivered.
Well, that's the action still ahead today. Phoenix will be at Dallas. Jason Garrett gets his first start for the injured Troy Aikman. Bernie Kosar expected to appear for the Cowboys. Minnesota will be at Denver, and Atlanta at the Rams. So check the local listings or just stay with us on your television set for more action ahead on CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League. Eric Martin, happy that his club is back in front, but only by a point. Martin making a huge first down play on the last drive that set up the go-ahead field goal. Wilson and Brooks, the deep men for Anderson's kickoff. Deep in the end zone will not be brought out by Brooks. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League. The CBS telecast intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the New Orleans Saints, and the National Football League is prohibited. Green Bay with 2 timeouts remaining. The Saints have all of theirs. 3:32 on the clock, and young Brett Favre will start from the 20-yard line down a point.
Well, let's see what kind of resolve Brett Favre has. This is where it comes down. Hey, this is crunch time. 80 yards away. You got to get at least the field goal.
Complete. Brooks. First down. Green Bay. Robert Brooks, number 87.
Brooks is, there's another guy who's had a big day, Robert Brooks. Returning the kicks, and in the passing game, what Brooks gives him in the passing game is speed on the other side.
Well, remember Mark Clayton with a calf injury, Jackie Harris with an ankle, Sharp with a toe and an eye injury, so Brooks being asked to contribute more. Edgar Bennett. Vaughn Johnson and Ricky Jackson.
Yeah, you're not going to fool those guys. Yeah, they've seen it all. You know what? The thing that I really like about Vaughn Johnson, we spoke about him earlier, is he takes care of first things first. As a linebacker, he believes his keys. He's been there. He reads them. He goes from first to run, then to pass. You know, then you take your key to the back. Does everything right.
Second down and 7. Each down becoming more dramatic. Good protection. Far for Sharp. Incomplete. Diving block by Toy Cook. Perfectly timed.
Beautiful break on the ball by Toy Cook. Sharp. He'll work to the first down marker, come back and sit down. Now watch Cook. He knows. Watch him break. Look at the break on the ball. Beautiful job.
Toy Cook, 7-year man from Stanford. Well, here it is, 3rd and 7.
Ricky Jackson can go back and thank his DBs because the coverage was all over the Packer receivers. Watch, you got 3 guys, they go with the zone, then they match it up. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, and over here the 4th. Can't beat it. Here comes the pressure. Favre stays in the pocket, steps up, sacked by Ricky Jackson.
Wagner, another big punt. Hughes from the 20. To the 30-yard line, buried under a sea of white. Packers say they came up with a loose ball. No indication from the officials. A 49-yard punt by Wagner. First down, New Orleans at the 30-yard line. 6 sacks on the day, 3 by Ricky Jackson.
That guy just amazes me. You know, when I talk to the coaches about Ricky Jackson, they say, well, what does he run anymore? He says, boy, he only runs about a 5.1 40. As a matter of fact, he said, we don't even know how he plays the way he plays. He beats people. He says he's lost a step in his quickness, but he still beats them off. He anticipates everything. and he's fundamentally sound.
Even Mike Holmgren said, you know, I thought the guy was maybe finished 2 or 3 years ago, but he seems to come back with such resolve and is playing at the height of his career now. On first down, Brown hit hard after a gain of only a yard. Two-minute warning. Here at the Superdome, a 1-point lead for the Saints. They have all of their timeouts. The Packers have 2. It is second down, New Orleans, and 7 at their own 33-yard line. Green Bay defensively with 5 linebackers in the lineup, taking Buckley off the corner. Don Davey in for the injured Matt Brock, number 99. Jurkovic and White are the other down linemen.
It's a good time for play action, Tim, with that extra backer in there. You're anticipating the run, you fake it, and then throw it.
And they stuffed Derek Brown for a loss of close to 3 yards. James Willis, the linebacker, a rookie from Auburn, number 56, who came in for the first time on the previous play, makes the tackle there. In fact, that's 2 in a row for him.
Yeah. And the first one, boy, he showed up with an attitude. Boy, he just drilled Derek Brown.
5th round pick from Auburn. And of course the injury to Bryce Pop opening this opportunity for him to get into action. Pop with a hamstring, in case you joined us along the way, is out of the game, along with Matt Brock with a knee injury, and Brett Favre wanting to get that ball back. Wade Wilson has had an outstanding day.
Carl Smith has called an outstanding game.
And they are now 154 away from a 1-point victory.
And a big play here for the New Orleans Saints. And you got to keep the clock moving. No turnovers. Your defense has played well. You've limited them. So you don't take any chances. Worst comes to worst, you just kick the ball away and make him drive the field.
Derek Brown out of the game. He had a 100-yard day thanks to a 60-yard run in the first half. Eric Martin, Patrick Newman, Quinn Early, and Floyd Turner. And a timeout called by the Saints. They came out with their 4 wideouts, and evidently Wilson didn't like what he saw defensively. 49ers 45-21 in the 4th quarter, and Jerry Rice has left the game 8 catches, 172 yards, 4 touchdowns. Steve Bono is in for Steve Young in that game. Young 23 of 29 today with a 4 touchdown passes to Rice. Giants leading Washington and Miami and Philadelphia in a dogfight, a 5-point game. Houston beating up on hapless Cincinnati. So San Francisco, if we chalk up a victory for the 49ers, they will now be 6-3 with that win over Tampa Bay. New Orleans currently at 6-2, trying to get to 7-2. Atlanta and the Rams later here on CBS.
And New Orleans going into San Francisco this week.
3rd and 10. They run it, and it is stopped. Brown.
Nice stick. Don Davey hit him right in the face. And they called a timeout with 1:50 to go, Tim. So the Packer defense does what it has to do. Watch Don Davey right here, number 99. He'll go into Kennard and work off him. Work up the field. Now come back. Boom. That's a good hit. They took their last timeout right now, so Green Bay will have no timeouts. They get the ball back with about 1:45. And Brett Favre will be licking his chops right now.
They have been involved in games like this all season long. They lost 2 of them in the last 5 seconds earlier in the season. Losing a game they should have won on Monday night against Kansas City. And here they are going to the wire against this very strong and impressive New Orleans team. And more action ahead. Phoenix will be at Dallas. That'll be our featured doubleheader game. Brooks is back to return, standing at the 25-yard line. Tommy Barnhart will hit from the 19. And he lofts a dandy. Brooks backed up to the 13. Trying to escape, can't do it, gets to the 26.
That kid is good. Robert Brooks has added another dimension to the Green Bay Packers.
Reggie Freeman made the tackle. 54-yard punt by Barnhart. Good job by him.
Well, here comes more chest time. Brooks is in. Sharp is in. Lewis is in.
1:37 remaining. Brett Favre, in his first professional start here in the Superdome, played here 3 times as a college star at Southern Mississippi. Struggled today. This is clearly a key drive for this young man. 6 sacks on him. Been knocked down 6 times. Has not popped up an intercept. That's complete. Well, is it a fumble or an incompletion?
He's caught.
Incomplete.
Yeah, the referee's calling incomplete.
Sterling Sharp. The ball popped out. It was right there for Sharp, but he was lucky, as it turns out, that it was not ruled a fumble.
Watch him break, come back to the football like all good receivers do. Ball's in the breadbasket. That should be a catch.
Well, hard to
or
say
a
from
fumble.
that angle, Matt.
That should be a catch or a fumble.
Well, don't forget
if it's a catch, it's a fumble.
Well, but they're saying he didn't have possession of the ball.
Yeah, he did it. He did it.
And we're looking at slow motion, don't forget.
Yeah, I mean, Sharp was saying that it's a catch. I'm saying if it's a catch, then it was a fumble.
Oh, yeah. 2nd and 10. Buck. Favre escapes. Complete. Harris makes the catch for a gain of 8. Vince Buck came blitzing from the corner, and Favre got away to make the completion. And Miami has defeated Philadelphia 19-14, and Don Shula is now the all-time winning coach in NFL history, surpassing the great George Halas of the Chicago Bears. Congratulations to Don Shula, the Don of Miami. 3rd and 3, 1:23 remaining. Incomplete, intended for Sharp. He has yet to see the football.
Yeah, he never turned to look. That ball was right there.
Reginald Jones had a better shot at it.
Yeah, he was lucky that Jones didn't make the catch. Watch him break inside. Here comes the ball. Like he gave up on it.
You know, you have to wonder about his vision.
Yeah.
He left the game. He was out for some time, complaining of a vision problem after a hit. And 2 plays in a row now, there's been a question about whether he's seeing the ball well. 4th and 3. Harris, first down, Green Bay. To the 37, 1:11 on the clock.
Big play.
Favre delivers, and Harris makes a big catch. And they stop the clock with 1:01 to go.
This is great. I love this kind of football. Brett Favre comes up big on the 4th down, knowing where he wants to go with the ball, letting it go before Jackie Harris's turn. The ball's right on top of him, and Harris with a big catch.
Packers, remember, have no timeouts remaining. That's why he had to throw one down. They're showing first down on one marker, but it is 2nd and 10. Favre gets some time now, flushed. Deep downfield, the flag is down. The ball is batted away by Spencer. Intended for Ron Lewis, number 85.
And we get a hold on the Packers.
52 seconds remain. 3rd and 10 coming up, farther back.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Repeat the down.
Well,
2nd down.
Waddell on that one.
Doug Weidel, it'll be 2nd and 20.
Watch 74 Weidel right there. Turnbull tries to take it with a power move. I don't see it. I don't know. I don't see that one. I don't like that call in a close game like this, Ken.
2nd and 20. The ball at the 27-yard line.
deep for Sharp. He's got it.
Unbelievable.
40 seconds and counting down. 18-yard line. 54 yards. Favre to Sharp. 29 seconds left. Atkins made the tackle. Clock stopped. 25 seconds remain.
Well, you wanted to know, Tim, what kind of resolve that Brett Favre has. He gets forced out of the pocket. Ricky Jackson on the back on his heels. Watch Jackson and Sharp just keep it on going, running through the zone. Favre throwing the ball up there. This is unbelievable. He ran right past Atkins. Atkins knew that Sharp had the step and just got on his horse to get down there. Tim, I got to tell you, this game reminds me of San Francisco when we opened with them on Monday night. This is the exact same game.
Well, time has been whistled here before play can start.
In 1989, the San Francisco 49ers opened the season on Monday night against New Orleans here, and the game was exactly like this. And New Orleans had all kinds of total yards. San Francisco had been held in check.
Timeout. New Orleans. Their second timeout. This is a 40-second timeout.
Tim, as fate would have it, John Taylor comes up with a big catch at the end of the game. And to me, John Taylor and Sterling Sharp are very much alike. Puts them in a position to try to go for the win.
And John Taylor's brother Keith in this game and in that picture.
Now watch 57 turn the corner on Tootie Robbins. Favre feels it, and the thing you got to remember about Brett Favre, and we've spoke about this, Tim, Brett Favre throws as well as any quarterback going to his left that I have seen in the game.
I agree with that. I'm not sure I've seen anybody on the run throw it as well as he does running to his left. You saw tremendous arm strength there. And Sterling Sharp, bothered with the vision, and after that long run took himself out here. It is second down inside the 20. And Favre just diving toward the middle of the field. Remember, it's a one-point game. Jackie, an outstanding field goal kicker. He's made 13 in a row. He's 15 of 16 on the season. And they're getting it in position for him. Ten seconds, the clock will start again. And they down it once more.
Well, he'll have a chance to make it 14 in a row and the win.
Chris Jackie can be the hero here. Indoor conditions ideal for him. He's kicked in everything else in Green Bay, and he's 3 for 3 today. A one-point game. New Orleans facing the field goal try by Jackie that can take victory from the Saints today. And again, timeout signaled by New Orleans. It'll be a 36-yard attempt for Jackie.
This is a 40-second timeout.
Put a little pressure on him right there. Call a timeout. Make him think about it. If Green Bay comes up and wins, Tim, New Orleans is going to kick themselves in the rear all day long, because clearly they have moved the football all over the place, but have only come up with the 17 points.
Chris Jackie, often compared to the other bigger names around the league. He's 27 years of age, 6 years younger than the great Morton Anderson, the Saints kicker. But he can be the hero here today with a 36-yard try. Wagner the holder. It is good. The Green Bay Packers, with 3 seconds still to play, have an apparent victory, 19-17. And Brett Favre is some happy young man, as you might expect.
Jim Moore just has got to feel rotten. I mean, their offense moved the ball. Their defense stuffed them, forced turnovers, did everything they could. And with 3 seconds left to go, it looks like the Packers are going to have the victory.
They went up high trying to block that, but Jackie got it up quickly, and there was no doubt at all. So the Green Bay Packers, again, just to reiterate, even though they were beaten up and down the field statistically by the Saints today, this is a very good comeback off the Monday night loss, a game that they blew after 6 turnovers against the Chiefs on Monday night. They have to come in here against a hostile crowd at the confines of the Superdome against a very good team, a 6-2 NFC West team, the New Orleans Saints. And they did what they had to do to pull it out.
Yeah, what they had to do was with 1:37, they had to drive the field, and they got a 10-play drive, and they had the big 4th down conversion to Jackie Harris. They get 56 yards, a big play down to Sterling Sharp, and then Chris Jackie kicks the field goal.
There's Sterling Sharp. It looks like it hasn't sunk in on him yet, but he probably is still bothered by that blow to the head that caused some vision problems for him. Brown, Hilliard, and McAfee are the deep men, and Jackie's not going to give them much of a shot at it. It's fielded by Dalton Hilliard. Hilliard fakes the lateral and then tried to throw one, but holds on at the 30, and that'll be it. The zeros are up, and the Green Bay Packers with a thrilling last-second victory. They lost a couple of those, and they win one here